On July 1st, 2025, astronomers detected the third interstellar visitor to our solar system, zipping in at an incredible speed of about 137,000 miles per hour. Right now, this mysterious object has entered the asteroid belt, the region of space that lies between Jupiter and Mars. Scientists say it will safely pass through this area without any danger. Like most comets, its speed is increasing as it gets closer to the Sun, and by late October 2025, it is expected to hit its peak speed of 152,000 miles per hour. But here's the surprising part. Ever since its discovery, 3I Atlas has been puzzling scientists with strange and unpredictable behavior. Recently, it shocked researchers by suddenly glowing much brighter than expected, completely defying earlier predictions. No one knows what caused this outburst of brightness. What's even more mysterious is that when 3I Atlas was first spotted, it didn't look like a normal comet at all. Unlike typical comets where light comes from a glowing cloud of gas and dust around them, the light from this object seemed to come directly from its surface. This raised a big question. Is the object producing its own light? Some scientists even suggested it might be an alien spacecraft disguised as a comet, though others argued that its reddish color and thin layer of dust could simply be reflecting sunlight in an unusual way. But the mysteries didn't stop there. As this strange interstellar object moved closer to Mars, it started doing things we've never seen in natural comets. First, its color suddenly changed from red to green, which is extremely unusual. Then, as it entered the asteroid belt, its brightness shot up dramatically. When first detected, the comet's brightness was extremely faint, around 18th magnitude. Recently, it has brightened dramatically to about 12th magnitude. To put this into perspective, in astronomy, a lower magnitude means greater brightness, so this is a massive jump. While comets normally brighten as they approach the Sun, 3I Atlas hasn't followed the expected smooth curve. Instead, its brightness has been fluctuating in sudden, unexplained bursts. On top of that, the green glow of the interstellar visitor is still a mystery. Many comets in our solar system shine green because of dicarbon molecules evaporating from their surface. Yet, surprisingly, observations of 3I Atlas show very little evidence of dicarbon. Instead, data from the James Webb Space Telescope revealed a strange chemical mix containing unusually high amounts of carbon dioxide, along with traces of nickel and cyanogen. But none of these are known to create the bright green glow we are seeing.
Kahala Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kadash. Double honors unto the highly regarded men of Great Millstone, the leaders of Great Millstone. Peace salutations unto the hopeful elect. Once again, I am the brother Yawasap, simply Yawasap, and the topic of tonight's show will be entitled "Signs in the Heavens." All right, and it's basically I I took that I took that title off of the scriptures, of, beginning with Luke 21, and also Second Esdras, the 13th chapter, mention about signs that the Lord is manifesting in these last days before His triumphant second return. And one of the most noticeable signs of late is this so-called comet or phenomenon in outer space that's been fastly approaching, you know, this this part of the the universe, you know, the solar system. All right, uh, three three eye atlas, I think it's called. All right, three eye atlas, and it's been making a lot of headlines since July of since a few months ago. It's been rapidly heading towards Earth ever since. And Lord willing, I'll be pulling up an article relating to that real shortly. All right. And I also have a couple of scriptures lined up, Lord willing, that would go hand in hand with this subject, and I hope would be edifying. But first, I'm going to YouTube, all right, and I'm going to show you a video, all right, a video of another phenomenon that occurred in space a few days ago, all right, a giant saucer size, a giant saucer shaped craft that flew over the sun, all right. So Lord willing, all right, I'm going to pull up the video. And speaking of videos, here's one of the this must be one of the newest headlines of the phenomenon, three eye atlas. All right, okay, that this will be the main focus of this video, Lord willing, will be about this so-called three eye atlas. All right, okay, and basically, all right, I'm not gonna play the video, but I'm giving you a little preview right there, where the headline below says, "Three Eye Atlas is beginning to reveal what it truly is. The countdown begins." Okay, meaning that they have this guy talking here, but there goes the thumbnail again. A three eye atlas is getting bigger and brighter. All right. Now, for those of you that might be watching, you never saw any of this occur, not even 10 years ago, right? That this has been almost unprecedented. That's how I would call it. All right, many unprecedented things that you once never thought or heard of is beginning to take place. All right, and this decade, the 2020s, and this year, 2025, all right, which is halfway, it's halfway ending already. Okay, we're in late September, all right, and January is once again right around the corner. All right, so and a lot could happen between now and January. All right, a lot could happen. All right. Only Lord knows what could really happen, but this thing here with this three eye atlas, uh, it it really looks suspicious already. All right. It looks pretty suspicious already. Uh, uh, the so-called white man, the the top white men at NASA, they gotta be overly nervous about this thing already. All right, this thing is raising a lot of alarms. Okay, they don't know what to make of this thing. One, they say that one day it's a comet, one day it's growing a tail. Now all of a sudden it's getting bigger and brighter, and from what I've been hearing, the it's been manifesting a green color as it gets closer to the sun. All right. But anyway, I might pull up an article on that, or I might play this video. But let me first play the video I mentioned of the other massive spacecraft. Okay. Now this is the video right here. All right, I'm going to play it, Lord willing. It's called the Fathership is Massive, and it's from GMS All Precepts. Okay, it's only 23 seconds long, but take a very good close look at it. All right, so I just hit the playback.
Something massive has passed in front of the sun yesterday. Look at it. It is massive. This is on 10-minute increments.
All right, I thought I would pause it right there. All right, for those of you that might be watching, all right, you just saw part of the video. It's only 23 seconds long, but you see that very big round object in the middle. It just flies over the. You see that little white dot in the middle right there. That represents the sun. All right. That's the sun, man, and you know how big the sun is, right? And from what I've heard about the sun, I saw a brother's video yesterday, and he gave his math account on it. That you know that you can fit 3,000 moons or planet Earths under the sun, something to that effect. So that's how big and wide the sun is. Yet this object that was picked up by Esau's one of Esau's telescopes or drones, all right, or infrared, whatever he has in outer space, to because he has all kind of different camera angles, drones. He had, he's keeping a close eye at space right now, and it is not looking too pretty for him. All right, the outlook, it is getting more suspicious day by day by day now. All right, the Lord is making His presence felt more and more day after day after day now, day by day. All right. Okay, hour after hour, all right, minute by minute, the Lord is making His presence more and more known, all right. So I'm going to play the video again. It's only Salakia. It's only 23 seconds long, all right, and you see how massive that object is. I just showed you. All right. Any other brothers have done videos of this. They'll tell you the same thing. That little white dot you see in the middle right there, okay, that's the sun. And the bigger round object around it is a so-called UFO. All right. A so-called UFO. All right. A chariot, the fathership, so you can understand. So I'm going to play that one more time.
Something massive has passed in front of the sun yesterday. Look at it. It is massive. This is on 10-minute increments.
All right, so there you go. All right, and and I'm gonna click on the 3i Atlas video real quick. All right, just to show you a few minutes, at least a minute or so, what the guy is saying. Some very interesting new revelations about this so-called comet that, as of late, does not seem to show really that it's a comet. All right, that it's something else. All right, so let's just click on this video real quick, and then I might follow with scriptures, Lord willing. All right.
Staying connected matters.
Staying connected matters.
You remember? Hey, Mama. You remember when you taught me how to fish? Feeling a little.
All right. That's an annoying YouTube commercial right there. But let me just say this real quick, like other brothers would say, fair use. All right. I'm only showing a little bit of this clip for educational purposes only. I'm not making any money off this video. Neither am I asking for any donations. All right? Lord willing, let the Lord himself reward me in due time. Abaratasa. All right? So once again, fair use. All right?
Of energy and life in our solar system, and as a result of this proximity to the sun and its very fast velocity, it has started to rapidly expand with its gas coma, which is actually a mixture of dust, gas, and plasma. It's a complex dusty plasma. In addition to this, it has started to brighten rapidly. So now it's around an apparent magnitude of 12, and this is deviating significantly from the expected light curve of 3i Atlas. So in fact, this interstellar object, as it makes its perihelion, and for the next couple of months, may be much brighter than expected. There is some discussion as to why it's undergoing this rapid brightening and some of the technical jargon and understanding behind this. It depends on the camera aperture and whether this is the coma expanding or whether we're seeing greater sublimation from the nucleus and new elements and molecules sublimating. We'll go into all that in this video, but in general, 3i Atlas is getting closer and closer to the sun day by day, therefore to all the planets in the inner solar system. It's traveling incredibly fast, which means that it's undergoing this sublimation process much faster than most normal comets would in the solar system. So as it gets closer to the sun, you have new elements start to volatilize and influence the makeup of that gas plasma dust coma that is surrounding it. And it appears that this brightening is coming from the nucleus itself and not necessarily from the coma. There is some uncertainty there. A lot of these observations as to its apparent magnitude, its brightness, come from people making observations here on Earth, amateur astronomers, and some more professional facilities. But in terms of the big telescope facilities, we don't have any imagery from them for September. The last imagery that we had was back in August. And so we are a little bit behind as it relates to super high power and high definition imagery on 3i Atlas, specifically from Hubble and also from James Webb. And it's getting harder and harder to capture good photos of 3i Atlas because it will be performing its perihelion on the 31st of October, but on the 21st of October is performing a superior conjunction, meaning that we will have the Earth, the Sun, and 3i Atlas in a line. And so it's going to be blocked by the glare of the sun, and it's getting closer and closer to that limit threshold of detection. So time is running out. The next thing that we have coming up is a close flyby of Mars on October 3rd, and multiple reconnaissance orbiters and probes on Mars and around Mars are going to point towards 3I Atlas to take specific measurements on it in terms of its brightness. Hopefully we can constrain the size of its nucleus using some of these photos, also a spectrum analyzer and more. So October 3rd is rapidly approaching. It is flying in at incredible speed, therefore undergoing different sublimation processes than we are used to at a faster rate. And now 3I Atlas is defying the expected light curve that we would expect based off of its distance from the sun and its overall orbital trajectory. Now, before we look at some recent images.
All right. So that's all I'm playing on that. You know what I'm saying? I let the video play for almost 4 minutes. All right. So basically the guy is saying in the video that by October 3rd, all right, the so-called comet will pass by Mars, and like I said earlier, the, the, this man has various probes, drones, camera angles in outer space, and he's got them on Mars, and they're standing by to take more new pictures of this fast-moving object when it does pass by Mars. So you see, so there you go, man. All right, so this thing is gaining more momentum as each new day passes. All right, it's gaining more momentum, man. Like I said earlier, you know, the Lord is making His presence felt more and more on the planet Earth in these last days. All right, so that's why the topic of this this show is so you see that's why I chose the topic of signs in the heavens. All right. So without further ado, let's go straight to the scriptures now. All right. Okay. So so basically, all right. I just showed you parts of two videos right there. All right, showing you that these different signs up in the heavens. All right, a massive fathership passing by the sun, and now this so-called comet. Apparently, it may not really be a comet. All right, the three-eye Atlas. All right. Okay, the second video you saw the guy talking, all right, and explaining that it's changing. It's basically what's the word I'm looking for? It appears to be morphing, all right, and transforming into something else that's not a comet, all right. So hey, these elites that might be watching, and they like keeping an eye on everything, all right, including these videos that brothers like myself push out, all right. You got a lot to be nervous about, man. Okay, be afraid, be very afraid, all right. Okay, you have to be afraid at the kind of signs that the higher power is showing you right now. All right, you have got to be afraid, man. As much as you try to inflict fear and pain upon others with your power and influence, all right, and you use these so-called world leaders, all right, as your puppets, all right, to promote and spread your agenda, all right, you have a lot to be afraid of, man, okay? Because the Most High is getting ready to send his son, Yahweh Shai, on the planet Earth to show you who's who real soon, who really got the power, all right? Now he coming back to destroy, the, obliterate this so-called white supremacy, man. Shake it off the planet Earth once and for all. All right? Okay? No more so-called white dominance in the whole world after a while, man. Okay? Esau, you've had enough. You've had your run, and it's time for your red ass to go. All right? Plain and simple, man. Luke 21 and 25. Okay? And as you see the bold headline above it, the return of Christ, so-called Christ, whose real name is Yahushai HaMashiach. Okay? Luke 21. And there shall be signs in the sun. All right? Now that video that I played first, was not that a sign in the sun itself, right? That giant black orb, that giant saucer-shaped craft that just flew over the sun, man. What was that really all about? All right. What was that really all about? Okay. The signs in the sun. Okay. The Lord made it nice and plain more than 2,000 years ago, and it is becoming more evident than ever now. Okay, signs in the sun. Okay, throughout the years we have interpreted all these solar eclipses and so on as part of those signs, but I think that the spacecraft hovering or flying by the sun itself is the ultimate sign right there. All right, one of the ultimate, more eminent signs, okay, that the Lord is showing, all right, to this whole wide world right now. All right, and there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations, with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Okay, so right now there's all kind of different events occurring throughout the world. The world of Esau, the so-called white man, his world, his world, his world just rapidly falling apart, the day by day, man. Okay, going down, man, like the Titanic. All right, just sinking. All right, and right now as I speak, I found out a little while ago that Iran already launched an ICBM. Okay, it's really trying to show its nuclear power more than ever, to try and attack Israel. All right, and then hey, this thing is really boiling up, man. The things are heating up. They're heating up. All right, they are heating up, man. About to reach the boiling point. Okay, so that's the whole point. The Lord was making. That's the statement he was making with this scripture right here. Distress of nations, and you know that thing in the Middle East right now, that's not even the tip of the that ain't even the tip on the iceberg, compared with bigger things getting ready to happen, man. All right, plain and simple. All right, I'm going to read verse 26. Men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. All right. Okay. So this three-eye atlas thing could very well be the how should I put it? Uh, you know, right now it is still floating in outer space and is fast approaching the planet Earth, and it could manifest itself before the end of the year. All right, so a lot could happen between now and December, so you can understand that this thing, I could be wrong, I could be right, I could be right. It might well become a global event. It might become a global event. All right, it might become a global event. All right, or who knows what trick the so-called white man cooperated with NASA, what trick they may have up their sleeve, right? And you should know what I'm trying to say with that. What trick they may have their sleeve with this thing. All right, it might lead to this false alien invasion that I've been hearing about for some time now. It might lead to that. It might lead to a false alien invasion, because this white man does have the technology, all right, to try and create a false black swan event, right, in which he would create the illusion that there's a giant UFO in the city, or various or various so-called UFOs, and it's an illusion. It's a hologram. All right, he's gonna try and make everything possible. All right, to bring about his NWO, his New World Order. He's already desperate. He's taking desperate measures. All right, his time is only getting shorter and shorter. So he's taking the most desperate measures possible. All right. Okay, the time is running out for him. He knows that. And even the Bible tells you that in Revelation, the 12th chapter. For the devil shall come upon you having great wrath, for he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So this so-called three-eye atlas thing could be a setup. All right, I could be wrong, I could be right. I'm only guessing. It could be a setup. It could be a trick up their sleeve. We'll just have to wait and see, man. Ultimately, the Most High, the Lord Himself, He calls the shots at the end of the day. He's the one that has everything uh, under His control. Not these elites, not the world, not the world powers that be. All right. The Lord is the one fully in charge, man. All right, he's the one that made the earth, the universe, the stars, the moon, the quasars, so you can understand. All right. Okay. So those of us that are in this truth, those that believe in the Lord, all right, and see Him as His shield and buckler, should really have nothing to be afraid of, man. All right. Plain and simple. Let the wicked be afraid. Let the nations be dismayed. Okay? Like Jeremiah the 10th chapter would say, the nations are dismayed at all these signs, man. Okay? Okay, so once again, men's hearts fell in them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. And hey, when all hell finally breaks loose, it ain't just giant spaceships and you know and phenomenon of that nature that that Esau and the nations are gonna worry about. All right. I must bring out Leviathan real quick. I must bring out so-called Godzilla. Okay, because the Lord will use his pet, the real life sea monster, the real life sea dragon, known as Leviathan, to rise out of the sea. All right, and terrorize Esau and his military, and they won't have a chance to trying to uh, trying to destroy this real life monster, man. They won't have a chance in destroying Leviathan. Okay, so both Leviathan and the so-called UFO, the chariots, the Lord Himself, He's gonna give His select men. He's gonna give some of His select men superpowers in that given day. All right, in indestructible power, so you can understand. So all these elements that the Lord will raise up that day. Hey, the white man, the white man will have his hands full in that day. He will also be shitting and peeing on his pants. I'm not trying to joke. I'm envisioning it as I speak. He's going to literally pee and shit on his pants. Him and his women and their children, their leaders in government. All right, they're all going to pee and shit on their pants, man. Okay, it ain't no joke. Does it sound like I'm joking? Am I laughing? This is a serious matter, man. All right, this is serious. Okay, the Lord is coming back in a serious matter, man, and He's bringing all type of different elements with Him. It won't just be a so-called alien invasion. All right. That's why Daniel 12 and 1, if I'm not mistaken, says that and there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was before there was a nation, right? Because so many different terrible things are going to happen at once. So many different you know words cannot describe right now all the wonderful things that the Lord has set up, for Esau's demise, for the demise of his counterfeit kingdom in these last days. The Lord is going to bring all manner of fear so that people will finally honor and worship Him as the one true power, the one true God, the Son of the higher power, so you can understand. All right? So He's bringing all this fear with Him. All right? By means of giant spacecraft, all right? Of sea monsters rising out of the ocean. Okay? Animals escaping from the zoo, attacking people at will. All kind of hell's gonna break loose, man. All right? You don't really have to take my word for it. All right? You ain't really got to take my word for it. Wait and see for yourself when that day comes, man. Because the Lord might keep you around to that day just for you to see that and live that and know what it's like. All right? Okay, so once again, men's hearts. I'll be right back. All right. So once again, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. All right. Now, who are those powers of heaven? The elite banking families, Rothschild, Rockefeller. All right. Okay. So who are those powers of heaven? Okay. Rothschild, Rockefeller. Okay. The DuPont, Getty. Okay. The evil puppet masters of the planet Earth, the present day lords of the earth. Okay? So they have a lot to be afraid of right now, man. Okay? Their time is running out. Their time of living lavishly is running out. Their time of living deliciously is running out. Their time of tyrannically trying to, oppressing and wanting to destroy our people is running out. All right? Verse 27. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. Okay, that's the second coming of Yahweh Shai. He's coming back and a massive and a much bigger than Independence Day spaceship, so you can understand. Okay, what they showed you, in that movie, Independence Day, with that clown, Will Smith, right? What they showed you in Independence Day was only a little preview of the much bigger event, real life event that will take place on the planet Earth, and just a matter of time from now. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna read verse 28, and then I'm gonna look up the precept to what I just read. Right. Just bear with me a moment. Verse 28 says, and when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. Okay, so the redemption, Lord willing, of little low level people like myself, draweth nigh. the redemption of those of the Most High's elect who are yet suffering under the tyranny and oppression of this so-called white man, all right? But being seen as nothing but niggers, spicks, living in roach and rat infested apartments, all right? Always owing back rent and so on, you know, living under all kind of oppression, okay? Lord willing, we're getting ready to say goodbye to all of that soon, all right? We're getting ready to say goodbye to all of that soon, all right? A new beginning is coming, Lord willing. So let's look up Matthew 24, which would serve as precept to what I just read in Luke 21 and 27. Uh, Luke 20, yeah, Luke 21 and 25. All right. So Matthew in the New Testament 24, and I'm going to read from verse 29. All right. And it says this: immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. All right? Once again, the powers of the heavens are relating to the elite banking families. Okay? The real powers that be that run the planet Earth behind the scenes. Okay? The one that set up these puppet leaders for you. Okay? And any man that you see in that White House, all right, right now you got Trump in there again. It's because they wanted him up in there. Okay? Just like they chose Biden, just like they chose Obama, Bill Clinton, just like they chose most of them. All right? And all these other puppet world leaders. All right? They're all set up, run and controlled by them. All right? And if they don't do accordingly to their will, they get taken out. Okay? Or they get removed as so-called leader from those countries. Okay? A good example of that, Manuel Noriega, and way back in 1989, when George Bush 41 was president, the invasion of Panama. What was really that all about? All right, it was found out that Noriega was really paid by George Bush and doing the will of the CIA, but when he started kind of backing off a bit, that's when they went after him and removed him from power. And not only did they remove him from power, all right, they experimented with their then new military weapons to terrorize and destroy the people of that lived in Panama, man. All right, but you can look that up for yourselves on Google, and you see what I'm talking about. All right. Okay, but basically, the, 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 this white man's reign of terror on the planet Earth, his days are numbered. They're running short, man. All right? Plain and simple. No matter what he tries to do, his time is running out. Okay? And praise the Most High for that. All right? Matthew 24:30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Now, another precept to that would be Revelation 1:7. Let's get that real quick. Revelation 1:7. All right. Revelation 1:7, you will see for yourselves, would sound pretty similar to what I just read. Right? Revelation 1:7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, Amen. All right. Now, did not I just mention in the previous scripture that all the tribes of the earth shall mourn because of him? Well, that's what the word wail means. It means mourn. It means to be in a sad state. Okay, so the rejoicing and triumphing of these inferior nations above the real nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the rejoicing and triumphing of these inferior heathen nations, beginning with the so-called Arabs, the Arabic people with their Assalamu alaikum, the so-called Africans, okay? Many of you so-called African Americans regard these low-life Hamites, that's the real nationality, these low-life, the dirty blacks, as your relatives, and they are not your relatives. They are not related to you, man. Okay? A good portion of them really have nothing to do with you so-called Negroes. All right? So there are some so-called Africans that are really Israelites in places like Nigeria and and even Ghana, I've heard. All right, and places like those in some places of Africa, not all of them. All right, our people are scattered throughout the planet Earth at the end of the day. All right, so you're going to have certain members of our people that may appear to look like the other nations, but they're not. Okay, but these pure heathen nations, all right, their rejoicing and triumphing will soon come to an end, and many of them like looking down at us. Okay, the Arabs look down on you, the Africans look down on you, the East Indians look down on you. All right, the so-called Asians, the majority of them, they look down on you. Okay? The so-called white man, the top heathen nation, they look down on you. All right? So sooner or later, like it says in Revelation 1:7, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of it. But be in a state of mourning. Their playtime will be over in that moment. Okay? Their downfall will be imminent in that moment. Their shame will be imminent in that moment. Period. All right? Okay, so second Esdras, okay? Second Esdras, the 13th, all right? So I'm going to go there now and just one more scripture after that. Second Esdras now, all right? Lord willing, I'll end it with that. All right, so this is second Esdras, all right, the 13 and 30, which could also serve as precept to what I just read. And it reads this: and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment, okay? Astonishment, all right? Astonishment is salakia. It's pretty much a state of shock and awe. Oh my God! I can't believe this. That's what astonishment means. That's how many are going to go in that day when they see a giant sized royal jet black melanated man with white woolly hair and a white beard and big red eyes crack them clouds open, man. Okay? They're not going to, that it's going to be to their astonishment that a nigger, a so-called nigger, a negro, is the God, the higher power, the higher intelligent being of the whole universe. Okay? It's going to come as a shock and awe to them and astonishment. Oh my God, I can't believe, oh no. All right? That's why the scripture says what it says. He shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. All right? So there you go. Second Esdras 9 and chapter 9 and verse 1. Lord willing, I'll end it with that. All right? Okay, second Esdras 9. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. The second verse goes on to say, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So there you go. Then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So right now, as I said earlier, and, and even some of the videos I showed you, okay, the Lord is really, he's really manifesting. He's really making it show now. Okay, it's not just a biblical scripture anymore. He is really showing it now. Okay, the signs, I just read you so and so chapter, beginning with the book of Luke and so on. Okay, He really means business now. It ain't just talk no more, man. Okay, he's showing it in all these different UFO videos. Okay, he's showing it with with these different comets that suddenly the white man is saying it may not really be a comet and so on. All right, that's how he's showing it, man. Okay, the day after day after day, he's making his presence more and more known until the ultimate showdown takes place. Okay, when it comes time for this so-called white man, and that's also right around the corner, for him to make this MOTB, the mark of the beast, mandatory, all right, and that no man can buy or sell. All right, you understand what I'm saying? Revelation, the 13th chapter. Once that once once that scripture, once that prophecy comes to pass, so will all these so-called alien invasion prophecies. That will be the ultimate prophecy to come to pass right there. All right? As soon as the white man uh, uh, executes his new world order, all right, as soon as he makes that chip mandatory, all right, that's when the Lord will make his move, all right, and Esau, aka the so-called white man, you done, you done after that, man. That's it. You're through. As much as you want to make, as much as you try to make the so-called colored race through, you're the one that's through, man. You're the one that's going to ultimately end up screwing up in these last days, man. All right? Okay, the Lord, the Most High, and His Son, they got your red ass marked already, man. They got you marked. Okay? You're a marked man. Okay? You try to mark niggers, you want to come after niggers. The Lord is going to come after you. He's going to come after you, man. You do anything to even one of the Lord's elected that day, you're through. You're finished. You're done, man. All right?